Good morning. Welcome to TCTSY. With TCTSY, movement is never required. You decide what feels right. Whatever feels right doesn't necessarily mean good or bad, comfortable, uncomfortable, really just whatever choice you're making in the moment is what's right for you. Because what we need changes every day, changes moment by moment, maybe even every second. So I will offer movement and shapes, maybe for you to try on, possibly just to see if something is a good fit for you. Maybe it doesn't feel right for you. You are always welcome to change to a different shape, maybe to a different speed, maybe pausing or moving continuously and really just exploring whatever feels right for you. Sometimes you may see a shape and decide not to move and decide to practice with watching or closing your eyes, maybe moving in a different way or doing nothing, possibly existing or focusing on your breath. So, this practice is a 30-minute practice. And at the end, there's some time reserved for rest. So, if you feel ready and you would like to get started, maybe you could notice how it feels to arrive here in this moment and in your body, possibly noticing your body or the room, maybe for a count of 5 or for 5 breaths here, to notice how it feels to arrive in this space. Maybe continuing for 4 more. Possibly 3 more here. Maybe 2 more. Maybe 1 more moment here. Another way for noticing whatever's happening, whatever is real for you today, could be to do some body scanning to connect and maybe notice the different muscles or different sensation and what's happening for you. Maybe specifically the muscles in your forehead, maybe the muscles around your eyes, maybe throughout your jaw, and possibly the muscles in your neck, maybe in your shoulders, maybe the muscles in your arms, your hands, possibly the muscles along your sides or in your back body. Maybe the muscles in your legs, possibly in your feet or in your toes. If you're interested in practicing with movement, you might choose to start with the head, neck, shoulders. One option could be to look from side to side, maybe with continuous movement, or maybe moving, pausing, maybe exploring and being curious about where sensation shows up for you, possibly moving side to side, or maybe using your nose almost as a guide to make smaller circles or to make bigger circles, or maybe another movement if that feels right for you. I will add the timer app just as a visual to see what the time is, but maybe for 2 minutes here. And feeling free to stop or pause before 2 minutes or continue moving after 2 minutes. But some type of movement, again, maybe with your head or your neck for the next 2 minutes. I did forget to mention that I am practicing from the chair today. However, you're welcome to practice standing, sitting on the floor, lying down, or sitting in a chair. It's entirely up to you. So, next for movement, one option could be a side stretch. Maybe bringing your arm up and over. And you might choose to look up as well during this movement, or maybe looking straight ahead. You might choose to move side to side continuously, or maybe pausing. You might choose to add in some rotation as well. And if it feels good, maybe choosing to flow a bit through the movement, possibly bringing your arm up and over. Maybe noticing any sensation in your side body or in your middle body or anywhere else, or maybe no sensation showing up for you. All of that is valid and is real, whatever you might be feeling in the moment. So maybe for the next 2 minutes, some type of side stretch or any other movement that you might prefer. Next, I will offer some shoulder movement, maybe lifting one shoulder and then the other, alternating back and forth, or possibly both at the same time. Maybe moving them in a circle, one direction, and then maybe switching to the other direction. Another option here could be to lift your arms up and bring them back down. Maybe cactus arms, thinking about that, possibly noticing in your back how your shoulder blades or your back body moves, and any sensation that might show up for you here in your middle body or in your back body, and possibly adding in some rotation here could be another option, again, with your cactus arms. So maybe some sort of movement here for your upper body and your shoulders for the next 2 minutes if you'd like. And if you want, maybe choosing to add in your breath, almost syncing some of the movement with your breath, some of the movement as you inhale and as you exhale, or moving in any other way that feels intuitive for you. Again, for the next 2 minutes here, if you'd like. Next, I will offer the number 4 stretch. Maybe something like this. Another option could be to flex your foot, maybe doing some ankle rolls, maybe adding in sort of guiding your knee down towards the floor, or possibly leaning forward, maybe leaning back and forth, or leaning forward and pausing, possibly noticing any sensation that might show up for you. Pain is never the goal. So if you feel any pain, maybe switching up the movement or the shape. Again, maybe choosing to add a twist here. Maybe your eyes moving with the twist, or maybe continuing to look forward. So maybe the number 4 stretch here for the next 2 minutes, if you like. So next, maybe if you're sitting or if you're standing, the options of cat, cow. Not sure about laying down, but probably some way we could figure out how to do that shape while laying down. So if you think about maybe a C shape, possibly leaning forward and then leaning back, maybe your head looking down, or maybe hunching forward at the shoulders. Maybe if you think about your spine sort of making a C shape, possibly adding in your arms as well. One option could look something like this, maybe extending your arms up, or maybe bringing them out in front of you and back down. Maybe noticing any sensation here in your back or in your middle body. And sometimes maybe hugging in the muscles in your middle body and noticing if that feels beneficial for you, or maybe noticing if releasing those muscles is more of a benefit. So maybe some sort of cat cow movement here if you'd like for the next 2 minutes. Next, I will offer some movement for your feet and legs. Maybe stretching out your feet first. If you want, maybe adding in some movement for your ankles here. Maybe spreading your toes out, maybe sort of like splaying your toes or flexing your toes. Another option here could be to roll your toes forward. Maybe instead of 2 minutes, possibly counting here for a count of five or for 5 breaths, maybe just some sort of, maybe just sending some self-care, some thought, or some love to your feet, maybe doing some movement there for a count of five. Maybe four more. Possibly three more here. Maybe two more. And maybe one more. For the last movement, I will offer a forward fold. You are welcome to come up out of the fold at any point in time. I will set a 2-minute timer, but you might choose to move back and forth or maybe pausing within the shape. One option could be this, or another option could be to maybe straighten one leg, possibly switching back and forth, maybe choosing to stretch your legs out here as well. Maybe some sort of forward fold that feels right and feels beneficial for you in this moment. So actually, I'm going to set the timer for 1 minute because it's almost time for a rest. Now, if you would like to transition to a place for rest, rest can look like whatever that means for you. One option, if you move to another shape, like for example, I will move to the floor, maybe noticing that transition of movement and noticing your body while you're moving to that place. So maybe for the next 3 minutes, a place of rest, and then coming back to close practice together. If you want, maybe again noticing how it feels to be here in this moment and in your body. I want to acknowledge the time it takes for you to come and self care and choosing what's right for you moment by moment. You are valuable humans and your work is cherished and valuable. So thank you for coming and for allowing me to learn to facilitate practice with all of you. I'm happy to share this space. And thank you, Shelby, for interpreting. Thank you, everyone. Take care.